Hey Ranger Nation, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about what will they do with Lord Zedd and kind of some theories and stuff that's been kind of floating around, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. Now, if you like Lord Zedd or do not like him, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave a comment and let me know your thoughts about this. And with that, let's jump in. Lord Zedd, he's coming back in Dino Fury. We've seen the photos, we've seen everything going on. So what does this mean, and what does this mean for going forward for Lord Zedd? So there are two ways that they're going to do it. One, he returns for the episode, he causes some stuff going on, and then gets destroyed by the Rangers at the end. Or he escapes and does something completely different, which means that he could be used for an animated series, or if Hasbro decide to do their own thing and split and not use Sentai footage, they could use Lord Zedd again because he's out in the universe and he meets other Rangers. That would be the two kind of things, or three things, that I would kind of see going forward. I do like the idea that he slips away from the Power Rangers because they're more kind of focused on other things, and thus therefore he says, "I'll be back, Rangers," and that's it. You know, it sets up perfectly for the main villain moving forward, and that is something that I really want to see. Now, it does make sense that this could happen because making a suit just to be used once doesn't kind of really work. Now, in case you're thinking, but they do that with monsters, they obviously get them from Japan, so they're being used twice, and then they go back into a museum or into storage, etc, etc. So for Hasbro to recreate the Lord Zedd suit, it just doesn't make sense to have him and then destroy him. Now, I've seen around on Facebook and in various groups and stuff like that, that people are like, hang on a minute, how can he come back? Wasn't the Z-Wave a thing? Didn't he get turned good? And that is a very valid point. What happened? Now, I kind of think that if you're going to bring back Lord Zedd and he has a backstory, maybe he decided to become evil. Maybe he just decided to go, do you know what? I can't really be bothered being good, or the fact is that something happened when Rita turned into the Mystic Mother. And if you don't remember that, she was at the very end because it was the actress who played the Japanese Rita Repulsa, Bandora, so she became the Mystic Mother, and that was one of the things that happened. So maybe Lord Zedd decided to go, I want to be evil, why the hell not, let's do this. Or maybe a spell from Rita at the time when she was turning good affected him and turned him back. Who knows? We don't know. I'm really hoping that they explain something like this, even if it's a throwaway line. Who will voice him? We don't know who's going to voice him. It could be someone from the show. It could be someone completely different. I'm just really hoping that it's not the same voice that we saw in Beast Morphers, because to me, it doesn't really suit it. I think it's going to be very hard to match Robert's voice, but I do think that they'll try and do a good job. So I kind of really wanted to hope that we get something completely different and it actually suits the costume. But they could turn around and go, my voice, what's happened? And explain that the power or the whatever has affected him and it's not brought him back to full power. That would be an easy way to kind of like negate the whole thing of people going, but the voice, etc, etc. I want to give a shout out to Deoxy360 because he brought up a point that I didn't know about, and that was the monster that they use is a necromancer monster. It was in Rear Soldier, and his abilities were to bring people back from the dead. But here's the thing, Lord Zedd didn't die, not that we know of, that is. He didn't die in the series because he was turned good. So I don't think that this would be a plausible theory, because literally that's how necromancers work. But I do like it a lot. I didn't actually think about this whatsoever. Now, the one thing is, if it can bring things back from the dead, then it would be the essence of Lord Zedd. That's the way I'm thinking, because obviously as the Z-Wave hit, Lord Zedd's evil essence would disappear, and thus therefore that could be the way that they go for it, which would be kind of interesting to kind of see. Now, I looked at the wiki and had a look at the powers of the Necromancer, and he had quite a few things. First of all, he is able to extract the soul of a living being, which means that he can instant kill someone. He can resurrect, and then he can bring the dead back to life, which is the main thing. He has a portal to the dead, and this is what kind of got me, was the fact that we've seen the monster world, we've seen basically their version of a different realm, and that was the Shadow World, where we last saw this in Lightspeed Rescue, and that's where Lord Zedd's essence went. And it would be interesting to see that Lord Zedd has been ruling over these monsters, plotting his revenge for getting revenge on the Power Rangers as soon as they pop up. I think this would be a very great way to connect Lightspeed Rescue, because for right now we keep seeing multiple things of Easter eggs, cameos, shoutbacks, stuff like that, all the way back to the Morphing Masters. So this would be perfect if we saw the Shadow World be connected and Lord Zedd being brought back. So another thing that I wanted to talk about is Ryjack and his Reanimator. We last saw the Reanimator being used by Scruzzle, which is obviously in the Crystal Dimension. And then we have Lord Zedd's staff, which from what I believe is either still there or in the Beast Morphers Command Center, but I think it's more likely to be in the Crystal Dimension. Now we know that the monsters can teleport, so maybe they know of it, they teleport in really quickly, they grab it and then teleport out. But a lot of people are saying that the Reanimator literally could only do one more kind of power due to its power source, which was actually gemstones and diamonds, which we know that they can get plenty in the normal world, and obviously maybe they could just bring in crystal from all around that dimension, or they steal tons of diamonds all the time to actually bring this close so they can repower it. If they don't use crystals, they could just turn it back to its standard thing, which would reanimate a monster, and it has, from what I can understand, an unlimited supply of power. So that could be a theory there. It would be very plausible, I think. I think that would be kind of one. So this is one thing I kind of want to add in that I've just thought about, is where would they get the weapons? So if they use the Reanimator, where would they get the weapons for? And with Commander Shaw returning to Power Rangers, maybe they're transporting all the material over to a new location, a more secure one, because Grid Battle Force is a place that has multiple locations, and thus therefore they're transporting all the weapons. Void Knight turns up, steals everything, including maybe they've got the Reanimator because they've got the location of the Crystal Dimension from Scruzzle when they interrogated him or something like that. And it brings so many things to the table because it sets up, and we've seen how they did it with grid connection and stuff from Beast Morphers, that they will do it justice. So I'm hoping that this is the case, because maybe Commander Shaw has a proper role in this, not just a quick cameo. But yeah, I kind of think that's it. That's all I kind of really wanted to bring up and kind of talk about. I feel like this Lord Zedd thing is possibly one of the biggest things that's going to happen in Power Rangers that we've not seen for a while. The biggest one we saw was Evox, and obviously with that one being Vengex, I think that was the biggest shock. So for this one to happen, I think this is going to be a oh my god, and I hope they do it well. One thing I did mention is I'd really hope that they dedicate this episode to Robert, because I think that would be fitting since Lord Zedd's coming back. So I kind of really think that. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? What villain would you like to see come back? And we're talking main big villains, not just monsters, but main big villains come back. Which one would you like to see? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.
チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとう。チャンネル登録、高評価お願い。